Hello, Tauros fans, and welcome back to Tauros All Access. And it's the Wednesday edition. I'm joined with second-year assistant coach Tyler Ebner. Thank you for joining us today. And we'll talk a little bit about preseason as we start to head into the final preseason week here for the Tauros. Next weekend, Friday and Saturday, we're playing here at the Eck Rink, 7:35 puck drop against the Norsemen. But just talk about how training camp has been so far. We're through one preseason weekend. Warren Watford, you guys split. How's things been going for you guys?
Good. I mean, there's always an adjustment period for some of those new guys that haven't been here, and then always for those guys that have spent a year or 2 years already here, taking on a leadership role. It's been good to watch those guys step into those types of roles, as well as some of the new guys that have played junior hockey already for a couple years. Join in on that leadership group and get the culture here continuing to go in the right direction.
And how has that been? You guys have 10 returners on this team. You have a fair amount of new guys on this preseason roster. How have they been meshing together so far?
Good. I mean, we do a lot of things, during training camp, spending lunches together, doing some team bonding stuff that, hopefully helps in that regard to make sure the guys are getting to know each other and develop that kind of bond that we saw last year. And obviously with this being a new group, we try to reiterate to our guys not to talk too much about last year, because there are so many new guys here on this team that it's different each year. The personalities, the talent, all of it is different from year to year. So we try to reiterate to our guys that this year is different, and but at the end of the day, the culture should remain the same.
And I mean, just beyond that, I guess going off of that, I mean, obviously you want to build on that success of last year, but also it's a new team. How do you balance that out? Because I'd assume you do want to carry a few things that you guys picked up last year into this year, but how do you balance that out?
I think a lot of it comes from your leadership group. I think this year's leadership group might be a little bit larger than last year's. There's a lot of guys that can take on that role. Last year with Trevor and Noxie, we kind of knew coming into the year, who your guys were to go to when you were having issues or anything like that. The guys knew, who to look towards. Whereas this year, I don't know if we've established that quite yet, but there's a lot of guys that have the ability to step up into that role.
And then just, big picture, what are some of the things you look for in training camp in the preseason games? Obviously, I'd assume you guys want to win the preseason games, but beyond that, what are some of the things that you look for from the guys?
Making sure that guys are understanding our systems. Number one, we look for compete and effort, making sure that's where it needs to be, up to our standards. But at the end of the day, we're looking to make sure guys are understanding the structure and picking up little pieces of what our systems are, because there are so many different aspects of the game, right? Making sure, that the little details aren't going unnoticed, and making sure guys are cueing into those little details within our structure.
Question here, like I said earlier, you guys split in Watford. Really good first game on Friday. 5 goals, pretty impressive for first game of the year, albeit a preseason game, but still, I mean, even more impressive with that. What has impressed you most out of the guys? I know you haven't really honed in on a lot of the strategic things in practice, but what has impressed you most out of this new group of guys?
I think, similar to what we've already talked about in terms of the leadership piece of it, I think there are a lot of guys that have that ability. For those young guys that haven't spent a ton of time in juniors to look up to, ask questions, if there's anything going on within their lives, I think there's a lot of guys that they can turn to help them get through some of that time. And then from the on-ice perspective, I think there's a lot of talent in this room, and making sure that, the compete and effort is where it needs to be for those guys to have success, which I think is what you saw on Friday night.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you joining us, and stay tuned as we are going to roll out here with a mic'd up practice from Toro Brandon Funk. So enjoy that, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow on Tauros All Access.
Gleb is swimming right now. Not happy. He is not happy. Hopefully we get a little quick one. 30-second one, Ebs, maybe. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, go far side this time. We're doing Gretzky? Yeah. Ben. I don't want to touch it. I mean, it wasn't ideal either, but.
I'll go behind.
Okay. I need to score here. I can't score with the mic. That's an excuse. I haven't talked really at all. No. Dude, it's actually hard with the camera and mic. I don't know where she is. I don't know, I'm hiding though.
Right corner.
Yep.